Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Ray's Garage, Renting with Ray Ray. No renting today. Got a couple things I want to talk about. Was Sturgis worth it? Is it worth going to Sturgis? I'll be right back. So, guys, is Sturgis worth it? Is it worth your hard earned money to take that trip to South Dakota and the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, the biggest rally in the world, arguably? Um, I've been watching a lot of YouTube about Sturgis. I promise you, I have content. I just have to figure out how my 360 camera works. I want to say better than 90% of the video that I took was using that camera, that Insta360. And it's a new edition. I haven't figured it out yet. I have it all. I promise it's on the hard drive. Just got to figure out how to edit it and put it onto my CapCut and followed by the YouTube channel. Anyway, is Sturgis worth it? I've been looking at a lot of content creators and they're all talking about price gouging, how expensive everything was, how, man, it can get very expensive out there. You know, $25, $35 for a burger or soda and the smallest fry you can imagine. Never mind if you really want to get a decent meal, fish, any kind of seafood, anything other than a burger and that carnival food that they sell on Main Street of every rally, it seems. Crazy, crazy, crazy prices. Is there price gouging? Man, I gotta tell you that on my vest, I don't know if you guys remember, but on my vest, I had veteran and a Harley Davidson emblem. It said veteran, veteran twice. I don't know how I did that. I remember when I did it, but I didn't never realize that I had that on there. So instead of the Harley Davidson emblem in the middle, I went and I got military insignia put in the middle, and then veteran on top. I had one of them removed, and it looks a whole lot better. It cleaned it up, looks better. Prouder to wear it, but $109. I got two patches, the Sturgis rally patch that I rode mine at Sturgis because I trailered my bike. I no doubts, no bones about it. I trailered my bike. It was totally out of this world. 2,185 miles from my house to Sturgis. Think about that. 2,180 miles. What a trip. Longest drive I've ever done in my life. No way that I would ever make it on this bad boy. Even with the new seat that I got. I got a brand new seat. Bad Boys. Georgia Bad Boys. I met him. And I got a brand new red stitch seat. Super comfortable. Totally changed. Even from, I have a very good seat before, the Mustang seat. This is way more comfortable. You could feel the gel. Anyway, I'm very happy with it. Got a pretty good deal based on what he shows it on his website to the price he gave me. I'm not going to mention the price because I don't want everyone to expect that. I was the second of the new model CVO that got a seat from George. I had to send him my seat. He didn't have a pan way back then. Make a long story short, I sent my seat out to him. He did his thing and put gel on it, put a new cover on it, marine grade vinyl, super. But now that he's making seats, he has like 5 different seats you can get. I highly recommend them. Anyway, let's get back to the price over there at Sturgis. So I'm going to get my glasses just so I can be thorough. Um, at the end of the day, it is very expensive to go there. And I broke it down. I have receipts for everything. So, um, fuel alone. Now, my truck is the new 2025 Chevy Silverado with the 3.0 Duramax diesel engine. In fuel alone, I spent where is my fuel receipt? Well, wait a minute. $1,964.69. That's fuel alone. another $167 for um, DEF fluid. And I got, maybe $30 of it on the pump. The rest I purchased at Walmart, the cheapest I can find. Um, in food, on the trip there, while I was there, and it was just me and my wife, on the trip while I was there, nothing really extravagant, for 7 days, $1,305. I made $1,370.94 in purchases. The seat, I got a gas cap. I got an Advan black gas cap. The usual hoodies for the family, T-shirts, a couple little things, some Sturgis flags. Just a couple little things. Nothing out of this world. Nothing out of the ordinary. $550.79 on hotel rooms during the trip, going there and coming back. I had to grab a couple rooms. Fuel for the bike was the cheapest at $192.36. They don't have 93 octane out there, just so you know. Let's see, what else do I have here? What else do I have? The Airbnb was $2,000. That's what the Airbnb ended up costing me. Now I got it for a couple of extra days because I actually, with the enthusiasm of actually going to Sturgis after so many years of saying I'm going to go, I plan on doing it, finally getting there. Going up there, I left Florida at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday morning. I drove straight through to midway through Georgia, and we pulled over at a rest stop on I-75, and maybe for 2 hours we stopped. We laid back. There was so many things behind me in the seat that I couldn't recline fully. So we laid back. I didn't really get any sleep, but I took like a little power nap. It's the best I can describe it. Then we drove through straight to Missouri, and that's in Missouri is when we got our first room. Now we stayed in Missouri, from about 1 o'clock in the morning and departed at 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. We had breakfast at the hotel, great breakfast at this hotel, and then departed, drove straight through, didn't stop again until South Dakota, well, with the exception of getting fuel every 5 minutes. Didn't stop again until we got to the Wall Drugstore. The Wall Drugstore is like 4 acres under one roof, 400-seat restaurant, biggest drugstore in South Dakota, the oldest. It's like a big tourist attraction. I don't know why. It's just a big drugstore, but it was pretty cool. Got something to eat there. Got into Box Elder to the Airbnb on Monday, probably about 6 o'clock in the evening. I called my host and added 2 days because we got there early. We weren't supposed to get there till Wednesday. Now, I wanted to enjoy pre-rally and then the first week of the rally. Pre-rally so that I can ride. I've heard about all the log jams and traffic jams. I didn't want to experience it that way. So I figured, let's get there early. Let's enjoy some of the rides. And that's exactly what I did. When I went to downtown, when I went to Sturgis, there were still cars being allowed to drive through there. Totally changed on Friday, the first day. Little side story on Friday. I'm riding west. I'm sorry. I'm riding west on Highway 90, heading to Sturgis. I was about 35 miles away from Sturgis. Without knowing, I picked the place in Box Elder that was smack in the middle of everything. In the middle between, it was 45 miles to anything that I wanted to do. Keystone, the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, Deadwood, Sturgis. Everything was 40 miles away, smack in the middle. Anyway, I'm riding down, going west on 90, and out of my peripheral vision, I pass some motorcycles. A speed limit out there is 80 miles an hour. So I pass some motorcycles, and I'm on the left-hand lane, I looked behind me, it caught my eye, and there's like a bunch of motorcycles coming up in the left hand lane on the right side of the lane. And they're coming up that I know that, they're going to pass me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're at the speed they're traveling, they're not going to hang behind me. I get ready to turn around and flip these boys off, and the first one goes by me. It's a Hell's Angel, followed by another 15 Hell's Angels. So my heart is racing, and I'm thinking, thank God I didn't throw that middle finger out there, because that might have been a very bad day. So anyway, guys, is Sturgis worth it? I had a great time. I had perfect weather. I saw George, All American Cycle. I saw him on Saturday when the rally was already going. Um, that boy is crazy. But anyway, we went. We were gonna ride. We were on our way to Keystone, and I had taken a shot of glucose for my blood sugar was dropping relatively quickly, and then I started getting alarms on the way down. We're about 5 miles from Rushmore, and we're going. We're George doesn't drive slow, um, and all of a sudden I get alarms and my phone lights up like a Christmas tree, and I'm looking and my blood sugar went to 40, and that is dangerously low. So I pulled over and I let them continue. I looked down and I have 0 bars of service on my phone, nothing. But it is communicating with my insulin pump. So I let them ride off. Natalie was chasing us with George's mom in a pickup truck. I don't know if she noticed me pull over or not, but I saw her go by. So it was George and his dad, a couple of people that go to the shop from Georgia, a husband and wife on 2 motorcycles. George was on his bike with little George on the back. Uh, you could tell he was having the time of his life. That boy was holding on for dear life. Though George is crazy. Anyway, um, I let them go. I couldn't reach out to them to tell them, hey, I'm having this medical issue. And after about 20 minutes, it went to low. Now, when my pump says low, that means my blood sugar is too low to even register a number. So I took another 2 shots of glucose, and I sat there until I was feeling a little normal, and I just did a U-turn and went right back to the Airbnb. When you have a severe low like that, that's followed by a bounce back high. So my blood sugar shot up to like 260. Anyway, the rest of that day was shot. I didn't want to chase him around or try to, he's on vacation too. So I just left it at that. I didn't see him again, and I kept riding around. So anyway, I digress. Um, the total bill for me to go to Sturgis was $7,503.80. Now, how many people out there can afford $7,500 for an 8-day vacation? If I would have went with my wife on a cruise to see 5 different countries, it would have been about $3,000. Do I agree with these content creators that are saying that Sturgis is price gouging the hell out of people? The only way that you can make Sturgis affordable somewhat is if you ride your bike up there, definitely a lot less cost for fuel. Um, I know people that have done it from here, from South Florida. I don't have it in me. If you take tents with you and camp out at Buffalo Chip or another, I've seen there were people in tents at private people's houses in Sturgis and on the way to Sturgis. If you make it a vagabond type trip to where you camp out in a tent, no air conditioning, eating whatever you can find, scrubs, cooking food for yourself, fishing and eating what you catch, it might cost you $2,000. Guys, it's getting out of control. This is the message directly for the vendors. The guy that I always use to sew my patches, I use them in Daytona, I use them in Leesburg, I use them in Myrtle Beach. Now I found he waved at me as I was driving down Lozelle in Sturgis. When I saw him, I had patches. I know what I wanted him to do. So I turned around and I parked. $109 plus a tip. Needless to say, I won't go to that guy again ever. And next time I see him, I'm going to tell him, hey, man, you lost me as a customer. And I know why he's charging that. They charge him $5,000 for a little 11 by 15 spot. The city charges $1,500 to have a permit for the rally. Guys, whoever's in control of this, that everybody's complaining, and word spreads like wildfire. The people that can't really afford it, they're not going to do it again. It wasn't a bucket list thing for me, and I would love to go back. I purposely left a couple of things out so that I have a reason to, hey, honey, we didn't do this. I want to do that. I know my wife. So, like, we didn't go to the Devil's Tower. We didn't go to Yellowstone Park, which I wanted to see. It's in Wyoming. It's about 230 miles from where we were. But when you travel 2,100 miles, what's another 230? Couple things that I didn't get to see. There was wildfires in Washington and Oregon. And that starry sky night that I was promised, that you go to the Badlands and you see North America's version of the Southern Lights or Northern Lights, because if you look at it, you look it up on YouTube, Badlands at night, star skies, it's like you can reach out and touch the stars because there's no light anywhere. You're in the middle of nowhere. We didn't see that. We didn't experience that because of all the fog and smoke. We had perfect weather. I found out when I got back home that on Wednesday, we left Monday. On Wednesday, there was a freak hailstorm where there were golf-sized balls of hail. A lot of motorcycles were damaged. A lot of cars were damaged. We didn't experience that. There was a couple drops of rain the day that we arrived, and perfect weather the whole time I was there. Even when it's hot, it's a dry heat, so it wasn't like a humid heat that kills you. It was perfect. I'm so grateful that it was perfect. I'm gonna go back. I'm really gonna go back. I'm not gonna do it like I did this time. Chances are, I will either rent a motorcycle out there, or I found out a guy that's relatively reasonable, and you ship your bike out. Your bike is gone for a month because they take it a couple weeks before the rally and you get it a couple weeks after the rally. So I might fly over there, get a hotel room just like I did. Well, this time I had an Airbnb. It was a 3-bedroom house, but I would get a hotel room and try that route and see if I can save a couple dollars, because I definitely don't want to spend that kind of money. Fuel, it is what it is. There were some places where it was $6 for diesel. And what are you going to do? You need fuel. You got to get fuel. So am I complaining? Am I crying? Yeah, I find myself complaining just like the rest of the content creators out there, the influencers that are, if you get on YouTube, you're going to see what happened to Sturgis, what's going on at Sturgis, why is Sturgis doing this. Jack Capella went and spoke to the mayor and said, hey, look how many people. By what I estimate, I've saw more people than I ever did in any rally that I've ever been to. Without a doubt, Sturgis is the biggest. Was there 500,000 people out there? Man, something tells me no. When they talk about the crowds at Sturgis and having to wait an hour to get something to eat, I didn't experience none of that, even at Sturgis. I didn't have to wait to eat, except for one day when we went there at the rush of breakfast. And we said, hey, can we sit on the counter? We sat on the counter. We were in and out of there within an hour. So I don't think that 500,000 people visited this year. All the creators are saying the same thing. I left, and it was like I took everybody with me. Afterwards, there was no traffic jams. There was nothing. There wasn't one street that was full of motorcycles. There was always a place you can park. So is that a good thing? Word will spread like wildfire. I hope that we're not seeing the beginning of the end. There's already dates for next year, but they do that years and years in advance. I hope not. I hope it's it was a freak thing, a bad economy, fuel prices were through the roof. Hopefully, everybody says they were down. I watched videos of people putting away 20 boxes of t-shirts. Guys, these things say Sturgis 2026. They're going to sell for $3 a piece at other rallies with people that'll buy the shirts. Or Biker Life we'll pick them up and do deals. Biker Life, if you don't know about them, bikerlife.com. You can get 6 shirts for $20 past rallies. And that's what happens. That's who ends up buying these excess shirts. They can't print them again. They can't take the emblems off. Is it worth it? For me, I don't like what happened. I don't like how much it cost me. Would I do it again? Yeah, I want to do it again. Am I going to do it like I do Daytona? Hell no. I hope the powers that be listen and something changes. All right, guys, I'll stop crying. Thank you for watching. If you watched to the end, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Every time I do a video, you'll be notified. Share it. Please help my channel to grow. Thank you, guys. Thank you for each and every time you join me. I'm signing off for one. I'm gonna go to Biketober. I'm gonna go to Biketober. I promise you, as soon as I can figure out this 360 camera, I'll give you some Sturgis content. I saw a lot of interesting stuff and in people. All right. Thank you so much. Ray Ray's Garage. I'll see you later.